Let's just get to our first baseman here because, we have 7 or 8 minutes. And I believe.
What? Do you think we could crack this?
If we can, we'll finish up afterwards.
Yeah.
I think first base, there isn't as much debate as there has been with some other positions. I think there's going to be a lot of the same names here today. So let's get it started with first baseman, and then when LA joins, we'll ditch this and see where he thinks Bryce Harper ranks. So first baseman, I'll kick it off at number 5, if I can find my list here. There it is. I'm going to start off with a guy I hate. Everything about him, the team he plays for, his meathead attitude, his stupid nickname. I think they call him the Polar Bear. Pete Alonso, number 5. I didn't want to have him in my list, but I kind of thought I had to. So Pete Alonso, number 5 for me.
Pete is not on my list. My number 5, starting off with Christian Walker.
He was around 7 for me. He's really good.
Very, very good. Listen,
Gold
last
Glove
year at
winner.
3.8 WAR, he in his 157 games, a 123 OPS plus, splits 258, 333, 497. Walker has consistently and quietly been developing as a top first baseman in the game.
Local kid.
And did have his second successive season of 30 homers, 3 WAR, and as you mentioned, NL Gold Glove honors. So yeah, I'm going with Christian Walker, who's been seeming like he's trending, unfortunately, in the right direction with just the way he performed last year. 103 RBIs, 33 home runs. Number 5, Walker.
Hate the fact that I have to leave off one of my all-time favorite players.
Sorry,
and
Tyler.
A guy who not last year, but 2 years ago, won the National League MVP, but I have to leave Paul Goldschmidt off. He's 6 for me, and there's a reason that I'm doing it. But I am also, Jamie, going to start with this dude, Pete Alonso, 86 home runs over the last 2 years. I could see this guy closing in on potentially 50 home runs this season, over 100-plus RBIs each of the last 2 years. 131 led Major League Baseball in 2022. The average took a significant dip from 271 to 217, and despite that, he still slugged well over 500. The OPS was well over 800, and an OPS plus of 122 in what was a bad year for batting average-wise. 46 home runs last year. I expect a number similar to that this year. I believe he's in a contract year as well for the Mets. I would not be stunned if Pete Alonso balls out this year, and I hate the fact that I have to say that.
Oof.
All right, number 4, I'm going to go with the guy you just said you're leaving off, Paul Goldschmidt. It was, quote unquote, a down year for the MVP 2 years ago. A 3.5 WAR is a down year, much like Trey Turner, where if you're getting a 3.5 as a down year, you still got a pretty damn good player on your hand. OPS plus last year of 120, running RBI, 80 plus on each. He can easily be that 90 plus on each type of guy. Still hit 268. His on base is 363. Paul Goldschmidt, still a really good glove. Still a tremendous first baseman. He's number 4 for me.
All right. So one of the top contact hitters in baseball, won the AL batting title. I'm going Yandy Diaz for my number 4.
That's Tyler's boy.
I know. He's got a 5.2 WAR. Last season hit 78 RBIs, 22 homers. At a prime age of 32, where he was able to continuously just improve in all areas. I mean, the batting average alone that he's had, 330 split last year with 410, 522, 274 total bases. It's Yandy Diaz on the offensive side alone, what he gives you at that base pop and just that extra level that he provides.
Yeah, not a whole lot for me to add because my number 4 is also Yandy Diaz. And defensively, he's about average, maybe a slight step worse. But as you mentioned, he led the American League in batting average last year, a plus 400 on base percentage, and enough pop to keep you honest. 22 home runs last year was his career high. The 78 RBI was also his career high. And he only played 137 games last year, and he still finished 6th among American League MVP voters, a Silver Slugger for the first time. Not a whole lot to add from this list, Renee, because I'm also going Yandy Diaz, and I think maybe he even takes another step in 2024.
Number 3, I'm going with our hometown hero, Bryce Harper. I cannot, in good conscience, put him ahead of Matt Olson yet. That was what this kind of boiled down to for me because I think number 1's a lock across the board. Bryce, what else is there to say about this guy? His OPS plus last year was a 146. He had a 3.7 WAR in 2/3 of a season, coming off of major surgery. Still got over 20 home runs in less than 500 at bats last year. RBIs were great. On base was a 400. This guy could be your leadoff hitter. He could be your three-hole hitter. He could be your four-hole. You can plug and play this dude wherever. He is the epitome of a baseball player. There's a chance he could eclipse Matt Olson for number 2, but I can't do it yet. So I'm going to go Bryce Harper, number 3.
Well, I love the fact that in the chat you guys are giving your predictions for where you think, the top 3 guys are going to be. I actually, because we're giving our projections for how they're going to perform in 2024,
you're gonna do it.
and taking the bait. I'm going Matt Olson, number 3. Obviously, last year, Olson set the Braves franchise record, 54 home runs in his second season. He's been filling the shoes of Freddie Freeman tremendously. 7.4 WAR, along with those 54 homers, 139 RBIs. Led the NL League in a lot of different categories, slugging percentage being one of them. Has done a fantastic job as a first baseman. Absolutely a top first baseman in the league. But in my projections for 2024, he's the number 3 first baseman.
Yeah, the Oakland A's can burn in the coldest portion of hell
Yes.
for moving Matt Olson and
Completely
Sean Murphy
agree.
for nothing. I am going to agree with you, Jamie, on my number 3, because this is a conversation of, is he a better first baseman or is he a better baseball player? And I think that is...
Bryce is a better baseball
That's
player.
the correct answer,
Yes.
right? But if we're ranking the first baseman, a guy moving to first for the first time, full-time in his career, it's really, really difficult for me to put him ahead of a guy that just hit 50-plus home runs and led the National League or was up amongst the National League in just about every major statistical offensive category. Bryce Harper is a freak.
Yes.
And I'm not sure that he's a human at this point. He's so good, he could play everywhere. If he wanted to throw an inning of mop-up duty, I'd probably let him. Putting him at 3 is not a disservice to the fact that this guy is moving to first base full-time for the first time in his career. Bryce Harper at number 3 for me as well.
Yeah, so number 2, I got the stinking brave Matt Olson. Kills it. First base is a loaded position with 3 of the top 5 potentially in baseball, all coming out of the NL East. Matt Olson, a 7.4 WAR last year. His OPS plus was a 162. I mean, his on base is a 389. Batting average is 280 plus, 54 home runs. I mean, a great glove. Like, screw this guy. And you're right, Tyler. Fuck the Oakland Athletics for trading him and Murphy into our division for jack squat. We got Christian Pache from them. They got Matt Olson. Seems like a raw deal. But yes, Matt Olson is tremendous, and unfortunately in the NL East.
Well, I think at the end of 2024, we're going to have a new top dog sitting at that first baseman spot because Freddie Freeman is my number 2 first baseman. Yes, and I'm not saying it's a hot take. I'm saying this because I'll get to why Bryce is number 1. But Freddie Freeman is my number 2 overall. 6.6 WAR last year. Listen, I know the talents of Freddie Freeman and absolutely his numbers and everything he's done. 29 homers, 102 RBIs last year. He had his first 2020 season of his career, hit 59 doubles, highest single season total since Todd Helton in 2000, tied for 7th highest all time. Freddie Freeman is also a freak of nature, very talented. It's not a discredit to him. It's just this is tough. This is very tough. But I'm going to go on a bold statement and say Freddie Freeman, for as great as he is, and even with the Dodgers, all the pieces they have, I think he's going to be that number 2. And I'm interested to hear you guys as we wrap up our first baseman. We'll get to it. Tyler, now it's your time. We've stalled. What's your number 2?
I think you're on number 2. Yeah,
we're on 2 now?
Yeah.
All right,
you're 2.
Let's
I think we
pretend
know
like
where you're going here.
Yeah, I'm going Matt
Yeah.
Olson.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any secret. And I know a lot of people in the chat were saying, well, he only had one really good year. And I don't know if I necessarily agree. I know the average was better. The slugging was better last year, and it's why he won his first Silver Slugger
He probably
award.
had his career
But
historic
It was
year.
his best year, yes.
Yes.
But over the last 3 years, Matt Olson's missed 6 games in 3 years.
Jeez.
Back-to-back years of playing every single game. His final year in Oakland, he played 156 games. He hit 73 home runs in his previous 2 seasons before last year. He added 54 more to that total this past year. 353 RBI over the last 2 seasons. This guy is freaking good. And I think that he was finally I don't want to say he was finally brought to the forefront of baseball because of the 50-plus home runs, but the fact that he almost feels like he was lurking in the shadows a little bit. I mean, 29, 36, 39, 34, 54 home runs over the last 5 full seasons for Matt Olson. This guy is a darn good ball player, and I understand if you want to put Harper over him, but as of right now, saying first baseman specifically, I'm going Matt Olson number 2.
Yeah. He's really good. All right, let's get to number one. Mine, I think, is no surprise. I think Tyler has the same one. Renee is going out on a respected limb, saying Bryce will be the best. But mine is Freddie Freeman. I mean, outside his cohort on the right side of the diamond in LA, him, Ronald Acuna, and Mookie Betts are probably in discussion for the best players in baseball. He's two-time MVP winner. Probably could have been a 3 or 4-time MVP winner if it wasn't for Ronald Acuna and Mookie Betts. Oh, he only won it once. Oh, I thought he won it twice. I didn't have my notes in front of me. I was just free balling. But probably could be, you could probably make the case he's a 3 or 4-time deserving winner of the MVP. He's that good. He's Freddie Freeman. The guy's tremendous. Hits for power, hits for average, plays really good defense. What the hell doesn't he do? He's the best first baseman in baseball.
And there's a new sheriff in town,
and he looks like
guys.
Buzz from Home Alone.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Buzz Lightyear because I was saying there's a new sheriff in town, which is
I can't get
Story
Buzz
connection.
from Home Alone out of my head when I watch Freddie Freeman play.
I know. I see that too, actually, a little
He's
bit.
grown up Buzz.
Yeah. So there is a new sheriff in town is what I was trying to get to. And I do think in 2024, this is the year. Now, he has not even been ranked in the top 10 players for Major League Baseball. Freddie Freeman, of course, was. But my number one, Bryce Harper, is because we're going to get a full season of Bryce Harper at first base. I hear what both of you are saying. Freddie Freeman, this is no knock on Freddie or Matt or anybody else for that matter. This is more about Bryce Harper, who is a superstar athlete that has the ability to rise to any pressure, any level. Listen, I feel comfortable and confident saying that Bryce Harper has the capability of being the top first baseman because he's proven time and time again that he can answer the call. Bryce Harper last year, I mean, even after returning from Tommy John surgery, returning back, came in first base seamless. And we talk about the production. We haven't even had a chance to see what does it look like with him having a full off season of training for first base, a full season at first base, a full season healthy. Bryce Harper, if you can step up this season and prove that you deserve to be a top player in the league, but definitely a top first baseman, I think it's possible. You look at last year's numbers, 21 home runs, 72 RBIs. He played in just 126 games. Of course, missed the beginning of the season and came out strong. And I think he's going to shake up the baseball world. It's time to put some respect on Bryce Harper's name. He's one of the best in the game, and he's definitely one of the best at his position at number one. Bryce Harper, baby. Prove me right.
Vince agrees with you.
Prove me right. Yes, thank you, Vince. Prove me right.
Well, Vince, hit that thumbs up button when you're in here. Everybody else do the same. There you have it. Renee had the big ones, put them on the table, said Bryce Harper, best first baseman in baseball.
Aside, it doesn't even matter about numbers. Bryce Harper he's a different breed. He's a different type of a competitor.
He's one of my favorite Phillies ever.
He has that mojo of like, I'm going to prove everybody wrong. I'm going to do the unthinkable. I'm going to switch. And I see him switching to another position. I already had the 30 for 30 planned out for his documentary.
If he gets
switching to first base, winning a ring,
if he gets
getting
the
a
ring,
title,
I think he very much will be in the discussion for the greatest Philly ever.
This year, 2024, is the year. Yesterday's Bryce is not today's Bryce, okay? This is the year that Bryce Harper, you like what I did there? This is the year that Bryce Harper is going to turn a huge corner.
All right, Stringer Bell.
I'm done. Tyler.
Yeah, so you guys know when people use the phrase like merchant, right? Like foul merchant. It's
Joel
usually
Embiid is a free throw merchant.
It's a bad thing. Can Freddie Freeman be a doubles merchant? Because this guy over the last 5 seasons has led the league, the last 6 seasons has led the league in doubles 4 times. Last year he hit 59
Look at that buzz-ass face.
doubles. This guy is insane. 200 hits last year, 199 the year prior. And guys, one of the weirdest things for me is he's led the league in runs scored. He did it in 2020, 2021, 2022. 3 consecutive years led the National League in runs scored. Last year, he scored the most runs of his career at 131 and didn't lead the league in runs scored. Freddie Freeman is like just professional hitter exemplified. You want a guy who has a good plate approach. He strikes out about 100-ish times a year. He struck out 121 last year, and that was high for the last couple of seasons. A 330 average and over 400 OBP. Slugs almost 1 on the dot. OPS at 161 a year ago. You could be a numbers merchant. You could be a that guy knows ball merchant. And at the end of the day, I think regardless of which side of that, of the aisle you sit on, whether you're a numbers person or an eye test person, the answer is Freddie Freeman is the best first baseman in baseball.